Thank you.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. We generally hear building cases first on the agenda, then the city will call the cases in the order in which they appear. If you've appeared at today's hearing, you'll be called before those cases where no one has appeared, but that's only true if you've signed in. So if you have not, please sign in the rear of the chamber. Once your case is called, I ask that you come down to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first, after which time you'll have an opportunity to review any evidence that the city has presented and ask any questions of any of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and present me with your own evidence. Once I have all the testimony and evidence, I will make a ruling. I will also enter a written order either today at the hearing or in the next few days, which you'll receive a copy of. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. I should point out you're not going to get a copy of the order today. We don't do that anymore. You're going to get it in the mail in the next few days. This is not a formal courtroom. The formal rules of evidence do not apply here and now. Although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you're going to testify or you think you might testify, there's a possibility that you might testify. I'm going to ask that you rise, raise your right hand, and we will have you sworn in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Yes. Please be seated. The city can call their first case. I do apologize for the tardy start today, as we had a little bit of a building exercise, I think. But safety first.
First case is number 9 for 231 Rutland Boulevard, CE 23080413. Number 9, 231 Rutland Boulevard.
Somebody here for case number 9?
Janet Montalongo.
This is Ernesto Montalongo.
We have a Janet Montalongo signed in.
Is Janet Montalongo here? Yes. Oh, that is her. Okay, excellent. And Officer Binns? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Can you swear us in, please? I'm sorry.
Please rise and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
All right, please be seated. I'm sorry, don't sit. I'll sit. All right. Go ahead, officer.
Okay. Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 4th, 2023. The notice of violation was posted at the property and the City Hall on August 15, 2023. Certified mail was sent on August 12, 2023. I have made contact with the property owner, which is present today. To date, the property was cited for codes 94302A3, 11.0.1, which is fence permit and inspection, as well as the landscape 18106K. To date, the landscape code 18106K is in compliance. However, the fence permit and inspection is still pending. The property owner did apply for the fence permit due to the city transfer to a new system, there's a delay with the permit. Also, the owner is in agreement with the city recommendation, and today the city is requesting 180 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer Binns. Just a couple of housekeeping questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes,
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes,
We're reviewing some photos during your testimony. Do those photos truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
yes.
And just for the record, can you describe what it is, what kind of a fence? It's the white fence with the brown, with the brown
So actually,
wooden fencing?
she has a wooden fence, and
I, oh, okay.
she has a
One
wooden
second.
fence, and what she did, she added lattice, white lattice, as well as the bamboo. So I spoke to the property owner and I told her how to gain compliance. She did apply for a new permit to renovate the fence. So she would have to remove the lattice and the bamboo around the exterior of the fence.
And can you describe, does the fence go around the entire property, if you know, or what do you know about that?
Correct.
Okay, and is that the reason, why 120 days since the fence is already up?
So I am requesting 180 days.
Or,
because
excuse me.
I am thinking that based on the delay on the permit side, it probably will take her maybe more than 30 days to obtain the permit. And she's actually doing an owner-builder permit, so I want to give her ample time to gain compliance. Since the property was cited, the property owner was in contact with me and working
Mhm.
diligently to gain compliance. So that's the reason why I'm making that recommendation.
Excellent, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the permit application.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Janet Montalongo.
And you're representing Ernesto Montalongo?
Yeah, he's my husband, but he has beginning stages of dementia. So
I'm so sorry to hear that.
that's
you have
why
any-
the bamboo was put up, because we have dogs. And last year they got out and he chased them and he got lost and they thought he was homeless. And so I added the bamboo. The other fence is old. The bamboo was new, and I didn't realize that I was not allowed to have it that high, because the one little dog jumps. So I was gonna put Calusa in front so nobody would see the bamboo. But now I'm gonna fix the whole fence because it's old.
Okay, I know this is very difficult. If you need a moment, it's okay. The city has some documents they wanted to submit in evidence. Do you have any objection to any of those documents?
No.
Okay, without objection, I'm going to accept the case file and evidence, the city's composite exhibit. So you wanted to give the respondent 180 days,
Correct.
and what fine were you seeking?
$100 per day thereafter.
Mrs. Montalongo, the city is asking me to give you 180 days, which is basically a fair amount of time for you guys to get the permit. Is that a sufficient amount of time, do you think, to get what you need to get done?
Yes.
Okay. All right, in case CE 2308 0413, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of 94302A and FBC 1101. I'm going to give the respondent 180 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. It's important you stay in contact with the code officer. Let her know that when you've gotten the things done, so that we can make sure that the fine doesn't happen when you get your fence. Okay.
I will, I promise.
All right. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 25-5207 Manning Avenue, CE 23060347, number 25-5207 Manning Avenue.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 27th. Certified mail was sent June 28th. Certified mail still shows in transit on the Postal Service. Posted at City Hall on the 28th of June. This property was cited for repair of broken windows, fence permit, outdoor storage, and sodding of the swell, removal of pavers. Compliant violations as of yesterday, repaired the broken windows. Remaining violations, sodding of the swell or the pavers removal, outdoor storage and fence permit. I've had correspondence with the property owner. I've met him out at the property. In my response, the city is requesting 60 additional days and $100 per day after for the removal of the pavers, the last of the outdoor storage, and receiving the permit for the pavers that are in the swell.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
Photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
For the record, can you please tell us what it is that you've observed that you believe is an alleged violation?
There's several pavers in the swell on Manning's side that were used for parking. There were several items outside along the fence line. There was a few ladders that you could see, the garbage can that you could see from the curb itself as well, and as well as tape on the one of the windows on the unit.
And what about the fence?
There's no permit for the fence.
And what fence are we talking about?
There's a white picket fence that wraps around on Manning as well as 52nd Street, right there.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do you believe that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Otto Herrera?
And sir, you're the owner of the property at 5207 Manning Avenue?
Yes, sir.
The city would like to put its documents and evidence into evidence. Do you have any objection to that?
I'd like to ask the code enforcement a few questions.
I promise I'll let you ask any questions and tell me anything you want me to know, but first I just have to know the documents that the city was showing. Do you have objections to those documents?
No, I don't.
Okay. Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. Let me see if they have anything further, and then I'll let you tell me what you want me to know, okay?
Okay.
Does the city have anything further?
No, sir.
Okay. So what's going on?
Well, I just want to ask him, what made him stop at this property? What was the issue? What was the hazard? What was the danger to the public?
I wouldn't say danger to the public. I would say pedestrian danger when you're parking on the swell, an area that you shouldn't park, and on Manning, people do walk because there's no sidewalks. And if you have cars that are pulling off the swell or onto the swell to utilize it for parking when they shouldn't be, that could be a danger to a pedestrian.
That could be any driveway that's out there.
Yeah, but in this case, it's prohibited to have.
Just to save us some time, sir, there are some codes in the city that are intended for health and safety, and then there are some codes that have to do with appearance or just some ways that we have to use our property. So not everything that is a violation of the code is a question of health and safety. It's just the rules of the city.
Okay. My understanding is that you could put pavers. You don't need a permit to put pavers down. So I don't understand why the city has a problem, me putting pavers in front of my property.
Well, that I can't answer.
Well, the city does have codes for a reason, especially when you have city utilities that run along the swell. And if you're putting down pavers and the utility line bursts or anything of that nature, the city's not going to be reliable to putting pavers back down. So that's one of the reasons why there are city ordinances for putting rocks and trees and planting certain items in the swell. And in his case, he's already applied for it and they denied it. He was in the email chain, such as I was, when they told him, sir, you cannot have pavers in the swell. So I figured he would come today to debate that issue, but he was involved in the email chain from zoning, letting him know that due to the city ordinance, he couldn't have pavers in the swell.
Which code sections are still at issue here? It's 94-302.
The outdoor storage is still an issue. I will give you the code numbers right now. You have 94-442-C-1. You have the 94-302-A-3 and the 94-71C.
What storage is he talking about?
Just the ladder, anything you can see from the road, whether it's things stored outside, like ladders, anything that's not
So
patio
anywhere you saw a
related.
ladder, you wrote them up?
No, in your instance, what I do, if I take an image of your property and whatever violation I see in that image is what I write you for, I don't do selective writing. Whatever I see, I'm going to write you for. I saw the broken window, so I wrote you for the broken window. I saw outdoor storage, so I wrote you for that, the garbage can, and et cetera.
I honestly think that you targeted my property.
No, this is my.
You went there specifically to write my property up.
No, this is my very first time. I go down street by street, and I noticed you never had a permit for the fence, so it would be unjust for the rest of the community if I just let all those things stay out there and just bypass your property. So I
All right,
sir, I
so
write every property.
just because I don't want to turn this into something that it's not. So the issue with 9442C1 is that the area where the cars were being parked is not grass. Is that essentially it?
Yeah, I put down pavers and they park right there on the pavers.
All right, the fence is not permitted,
Yes, there's never been a fence permit. I checked
and the
it.
outdoor storage was some equipment like
Yeah,
a
there's
ladder.
ladders and tables and things like that, such as outside.
Which are behind the fence. Your Honor, I put papers down because I have a my tenant has a handicapped son, and she was carrying him from the street to the house. And I noticed she was, having a hard time, so I decided to put the papers and get the car closer to the door. And that's one of the main reasons I put those pavers down. In another area, I do have pavers where another tenant parked, but the main reason I did that area was because of the tenant having a handicapped kid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the person
mean,
to
I don't know
tell you
what
that
the
you shouldn't do things to help your tenant, because of course you should, but you have to do things that are consistent with what the city code allows. And I think if you talk to the officer, he could give you some options about things that you can do that are consistent with the code. And I mean, one of the powers that I don't have here is I can't tell you that, you know what, this code section it's not great and shouldn't apply to you.
Right.
I mean, that's really the city council that determines what the rules are for the community in which you live here, in the city in which you live. I have a very limited responsibility. It's basically just this. I look at the facts and I see whether or not the facts are consistent with the requirements of the code. And in this particular case, your fence needs a permit. You need to have grass in your swale, and you can't have outside storage. What I do have some discretion is to give you time to bring those things in order, so that you don't necessarily have to get fined, and I'm certainly willing to do that. The city's offered you 60 days. Is that a sufficient amount of time for you, sir?
As we are here today, how do you know I don't have a fence permit?
How do I know what?
How do you know I don't have a fence permit?
As of yesterday, I checked the green card and developmental services. There was never a fence permit on the green card. I also had Mr. Craig check and a couple ladies up front just to make sure that I was seeing it correctly, and there was no fence permit.
Is it your position that you do have a fence permit?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence of that?
I have it with me right now.
Can you show it to the officer?
So he is basically lying.
Well, I don't believe he's lying, but it's always possible that he's mistaken. If you have some evidence, you can show it to him. Go ahead. You can bring it right over to him and show him.
Where?
You can show him whatever documentation you have.
So if you were to check, you would have found that there is none. I took that permit out in 1998, and I told him that I had a permit, but I didn't have it with me, so I had to have the city of West Palm find one. So if he would have checked, he would have found the permit.
Hold on one second. Let me give him a chance to look at it so he can respond. Are those the city records you're showing?
The city records that we have access to do not show any fence permit for this address.
It was taken on in 1998.
Do you own the adjoining property as well, sir?
Excuse me?
Do you own the adjoining property, the
Yes.
property next door? Is it possible that the permit was under the neighboring property?
No, that permit belongs to the property in question. I went to the city and they helped me fill out the forms. And I told him that when he came and saw me.
Well, they're not perfect, sometimes they can miss a record, so it's possible they might have missed this one.
I think he's after me for some reason and I don't really appreciate it.
I know you feel that way. I can promise you that I'm not.
I understand that. I don't have a problem with you, it's him. I think he's after me because I wrote a letter to the mayor, and he probably got a hold of that letter.
Special Magistrate, we're opening another database to see if there's something in there, but it's going to take a minute.
Okay.
When I went to the city, it took them like 5 minutes to find it.
All right, well, let's while they're looking for that, why don't we talk about, so the landscape grass is just in reference to the swale area,
Yes, sir. On Manning side.
and then the outdoor storage is just that, you can go back to so just some of that equipment that's sitting there. Those seem relatively easy to fix.
Well, I sent him my email asking me if that was a problem, the ladder. Was that the construction materials he was talking about? He never responded.
I sent you pictures back. I responded
You
to your
just sent the
email.
picture, you didn't say
Yeah,
nothing, you
I
didn't say,
said here-
yes, that's the problem,
All
or
right,
you need to
well,
remove it.
Yeah,
I can't change what's happened in the past. I'm just gonna try and fix what we have in
Okay.
front of us today. 60 days seems plenty of time to get that taken care of. And it also seems like enough time to put grass over where you put the pavers down.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you need more, I mean, is 60 days enough time for you on those?
Well, I'm gonna try to apply for a permit to put a driveway there. Is that possible?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not, that fence isn't 25 years old. But
Sir, can you tell me when the fence was installed?
1998.
it looks fairly new to be 98.
Excuse me?
It doesn't look that old.
That's what you think.
No,
But
that's
I'm the
just-
one that put it down, and I know when I put it down. I just wasn't sure of the permit, if I had the permit with me.
Sir, what's the material that fence is made
A
of?
vinyl PVC fence. It says right there on the permit, white vinyl PVC
Well,
fence.
I'm not asking, sir, what's on the permit. I'm just asking you what
It's a white fence.
it's a,
White PVC vinyl fence.
mhm.
Looks from 98, huh?
Can I see the permit?
Yeah.
Looks like a permit to me.
Do you all think I made it up or something?
I don't.
I went and printed a permit.
Mhm.
All right, well, to save us some time, I don't think the city can pursue 94-302-A3 unless you have something more to tell me, because it looks like he has a permit for the fence. As far as the landscape area and the grass and the residential storage, you can either return the grass or you can get you see if you can get a permit to do something else with it, but I'll give you 60 days to figure out what to do with that area, with the landscaping. As far as the outdoor storage, I'll give you 60 days to bring that into compliance as well, okay?
To be clear, the storage is the ladder. Is that it?
If the storage is anything that's outside, is not patio
The
related,
one
I
you
couldn't-
wrote me up for, is that
couldn't
the
see
ladder you're
beyond-
Wait a
talking
minute,
about?
guys, wait a minute, guys, one at a time.
You asked
You
me a
asked the
question,
question,
you
he's
allow me to
answering the
answer you.
question.
because I would allow you
You
to
can just
answer.
say anything to
But
storage.
it would be anything that's outside that's not patio related, as in grills, patio, furniture, things of that nature. When you have tires, other equipment, stuff like that, that's considered outdoor storage. It's in the same,
So the ladder is outside
yeah,
storage.
the ladder is
Okay, thank
definitely
you.
storage that I've seen from outside.
Sir, just make sure that when you feel that you've brought that into compliance, to give the officer a call or an email so that he can go out and
Okay.
confirm that, okay?
All right. All right, in case CE 2306037, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient from the property in violation of 94442C1, which is landscaped areas must be grass. The swale area must be grass, or there must be a permit for something else. In 9471C, outdoor storage, including the ladder and the items in the picture from 9:13 at 9:23 a.m. A respondent has 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Sir, like the city attorney suggested, as soon as you believe that you have those things in compliance, you should contact the officers so they can comply you, and so that no fine will happen, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Can I have my permit back?
Yep, you certainly can. Did we ever find this? Does the city want to make a copy of this?
The city is the one that gave it.
I presume so, but they can't seem to find it, so maybe they want a copy.
We'll take care of it.
Okay.
Is that it? That's it?
That's it, you're all set.
Thank you.
Case number 10732 West Lakewood Road, CE 230800409, number 10732 West Lakewood Road.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, Richard Pazamino.
Can I bring my witnesses up too?
Yeah, let me just,
Yeah, but so what's going to happen is the city's going to present their case first.
Okay,
You can ask any questions of any of their witnesses or look at any of their evidence, and after which time, it'll be your chance to present any witnesses that you have or to present me with any evidence. So for now, they're going to go first, okay?
okay.
That make sense? Okay.
this property was cited on August 9th. Certified mail was sent out August 10th. It was received August 18th. The property and City Hall were both posted on August 16th. This property was cited for excessive growth, pool fence required. The property was not secure. And there was a pool on the property. Pools and spas unsanitary. Clean and sanitary conditions of the property. Overgrowth, specifically the weeds and grass exceeding 6 inches in height. Drainage, specifically stagnant water on the property. Fence maintenance. Exterior windows needing repair. And exterior roof. Conditions of exterior roof. I have had no contact with the owner of the property for this specific case, but this specific property I have been dealing with since last year, July of last year, with similar violations, some similar, some different. And I want to say they did comply with my old case from last year, early in February. But regarding this case, Code Section 74-4-C-3 has came into compliance as of Monday. That's the grass and weeds exceeding 6 inches. And 94-302A4 fence maintenance has complied as of Monday. The exterior fence has been repaired. All other violations do remain. And I could go down specifically what remains in violation with each code section. Like I said, I've had no contact for this specific code case with the owner. That the property is vacant
I did call you and leave messages.
with, I didn't receive any.
Hold on one second, ma'am, I promise I'll let
Haven't
you
received
have a
any.
chance to say anything that you need to tell me, but we can't,
Yeah.
we can't go back
Regard,
and forth.
I've spoke to her with my old case. She lives in Boynton, but the mail is still being sent to this vacant property. And the property is receiving a homestead exemption. It's a vacant property though. Yeah, and with that, this came through from sanitation department actually. Like I said, the property was unsecured. The fence was ripped open. The gate was off, and the pool was unsecure. Stagnant water, trash and debris all over the property. Everything you could see.
Can I tell him why?
And with the remaining violations, the city is recommending 30 additional days. And with the history of the property, and with it being brought into compliance earlier this year, and with no maintenance being done since, with the history and everything, the city's asking for a $500 a day fine if compliance is not achieved.
So a couple of housekeeping questions, and I apologize. When your testimony started at the beginning, I was in conversation on another case, so bear with me. I think you said that certified mail was sent, yes?
Yes,
Was the notice of violation also sent by regular first-class mail?
it was, yes.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
It was,
And was the notice of violation posted at City Hall?
yes.
Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there was.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes,
The 30 days, do you believe that that's a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these remaining alleged violations into compliance?
I do believe so.
Okay, so a couple questions about the remaining alleged violations. We'll go in order, okay? What is your testimony in regards to 18106B excessive growth?
The remaining excessive growth is on the property side, within the fence, in the side yard. There's excessive growth of flora and plants all along behind the house, along the pond. Right there, back behind the palm trees, and along the fence behind the house. All the overgrowth has to be cut back.
See, I didn't know that.
Okay.
I wanted it to be back there. I've got like a little jungle thing going.
Yes,
I got
all
my-
excessive growth, all that stuff along the fence as well. Yeah, you can kind of see.
So with regard to the pool fencing required, we see a pool
Yep.
and we see what you've referred to as a little pond.
Yep.
Are you concerned about both of them or just the actual pool?
So scroll up, please. So the code section is, it's supposed to be a self-securing. Yep, keep scrolling up. Yeah. Right there. Go down, right there. So it's supposed to be a self-securing, self-latching fence. That little piece of tile is the only thing securing the fence from opening. It's like on a spring. So without that tile right there in place, the gate would open up by itself. They did repair the fence, like I said, so that section complied. But that's the only thing keeping the fence in place, keeping anyone out, keeping children out, keeping anyone off the property.
Thank you. With regard to 18106N, pools and spas, is your concern with both bodies of water?
Yes, the little pond or right there, and then the pool, just a collection of stagnant water, standing water, uncleanliness, debris, the junk.
Okay, and it's your testimony that the code section requires it to remain free and clear of pollutants and debris?
Correct, yes.
Okay, and with regard to 18106A, clean and sanitary?
Yes, in the front yard, and in the yard on the property side, the pool, the yard, the sidewalk still does have dirt, all over the sidewalk. And then the pond as well.
Okay, all right. And 18106C, drainage?
Yes, for the standing water, the stagnant, dirty.
So
safe water.
I'm a little I'm a little confused. Is there stagnant water outside of the pool and the pond, or you're concerned about the pool and the pond?
The pool and pond.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So again,
Yeah,
from
the
the
draining.
standpoint of drainage, your concern is that it needs to be shocked or cleaned?
Yeah,
Okay.
shocked, cleaned, or circulated, and
Okay, and for 18103E, windows, exterior door, basement, hatchway, what is your concern?
in some of my initial inspections, that front window, in the property, it was cracked and broken. They secured it or covered it up with a hurricane shutter that's improperly boarded and illegally shuttered with a hurricane shutter. That requires a permit. It would have to be repaired, or a permit would have to be applied for to keep the shutters up.
Okay, and 18103B, foundation, exterior wall and roof?
The garage roof, they patched it previously. There's a hole where the roof is kind of caving in. That's the area for that violation.
Very briefly, you mentioned that there was a prior case. Did that prior case concern any of the same issues necessarily, or?
Some of the issues, like the overgrowth, the conditions of the property that were visible from the outside, but over the 7 months of dealing with the property, some of the issues came up, like the fence. There was vagrants, people coming onto the property and
Okay,
messing the property up. She spent a lot of money fixing the fence,
okay,
and it became worse before it got better.
okay.
And
Thank you very
Yep.
much. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file.
Can I explain some of this?
One second, ma'am.
One more sentence
Oh,
on my
okay.
part, and
Okay,
then
I'm
it
sorry.
switches to you. That's okay, that's fine. So, Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, and any and all other documents in the case file.
All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Madeline Nicely?
And you're the owner of the property at 932
Yes,
West
I
Lakewood
am.
Road?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have any objections to the pictures and documents that the city has just shown you that they want to put in
I
evidence?
just want to explain what happened to the property.
I promise I'll let you do that. I just need to know if you object to the documents.
Well, I have a problem with why I'm getting written up for something that's not my fault.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and admit those documents to evidence, the city's composite exhibit, and the floor is yours, so tell me what's going on.
I'm very ill. I'm critically ill. I'm being treated by Cleveland Clinic. That's why I'm not living there. I'm living with my friends in Delray in a condo, so they can take me to my Cleveland Clinic appointments. And I'm constantly having at Bethesda Hospital having my procedures done. And these are my two friends here. They're my witnesses. This man has been coming on my property. He's been arrested. I have all kinds of arrest things where he's trespassed and torn my property up. He's been arrested many, many times, and I'm on Social Security disability because I can't work, and I have to keep paying to have this man arrested over and over, and they let him out the next day. He's absolutely crazy.
Why would you have to pay to have him arrested?
I don't have to pay to have him arrested. I have to pay to have this fence redone twice now that he's done. All the stuff that's in that swimming pool used to belong in my shed. He's taken my lawnmower, my bicycle built for two, my shed, everything is in that swimming pool because this crazy man who we call Charlie, for Charles Manson, because that's who he looks like, keeps coming on my property. The neighbors have called the police on him. They've been there with me when they've arrested him. They just keep letting him out. I found out the other day he held a knife. He used to live in the apartment building 801. He held a knife on his parents, and they moved out and left him there to be homeless. So he's been coming over and living on my property. We found all his belongings in my shed the other day, which I ended up having taken down, and now he's living in Dreyer Park. But he's been terrorizing my property. I've had 3 people that come over and take care of my property because I can't be there, that live on, my main guy lives on Lytle Street. Across the street is the house I grew up on Lytle Street since I was 2 years old, 18 blocks away. And the man that lives across the street is the one that was coming over. I was paying him to do my yard work, which apparently he wasn't doing a good enough job. So my friends, we've got a weed eater, and they've been over there doing all the yard work to relieve me of that money that I was paying him to do it because he wasn't doing a good job. But this man has he's broken my windows. He's done terrible damage, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage to my property. And they just keep arresting him and letting him out. I went to see the City Commissioner Christina Lambert about this. We sit down in her chamber and had a conference with her about it. She said she was going to get the homeless coalition to come in and get him out of there, but it didn't happen. And the neighbors say we give up calling the police because they just, all the stuff that I got from the city in the original one, I never got. It was certified mail. I don't even have a mailbox. The mailbox is in my swimming pool. All my mail he was taking out of my mailbox, throwing it in the swimming pool, and then he tore all the palms out of my front yard, threw that over, all the cactuses, my whole shutters, everything that was in the back of my house was in the swimming pool. I've been having that all cleaned up. I've had people coming out, cleaning it up for me. I'm a member of the VFW and the American Legion because I'm from a military family. And all my friends have been coming over, chipping in their time to redo. We did the windows, the rotten wood around the windows, and to try to get all of this stuff taken care of because this man is just terrorizing me. And my friend that was doing it, that lived on the property, that lives on Lytle Street, says, I can't come over there anymore. He's threatening me every time I come over there and I catch him on your property. He said, you're going to have to find somebody else to do it. I'm afraid of him. And it's been a nightmare. I mean, I'm going through this and trying to go to this Cleveland Clinic thing. I had to put my operation off that I was supposed to have for this month in Cleveland Clinic for this. And I'm trying to take care of it, but it's like, it's never ending. I mean, I don't know what to do about it. I'm selling the house. I found a buyer already, but I'm trying to get my belongings out of there. But I'm in bad shape. I have 3 hernias, and I'm critically ill. And
How long do you need to sell the house?
I need to get my personal belongings out, and I already have a $30,000 fine from before that I wanted to try to work on getting that somewhat wiped out because I don't believe this is my fault. I never got the paperwork. I have all these police reports. I mean, I have all this stuff that I've done that I don't know what to do.
Do you have, can I see a copy of one of the police reports and I'll liaison with the police this afternoon?
Them all. He was just in jail for about a month, but they couldn't hold him any longer, the state attorney.
Thank you. I'll give them back to you.
Okay. I have the pictures that we took when we went over there yesterday of the updated, if you want to see them. I don't know if you were over there yesterday,
Yeah, it's fine.
but I have pictures of what the damage that he's done in the beginning and how we've progressed and how he's redone the damage.
I believe you, ma'am. I do. The question for me is, how do we, I mean, because what I can't do is I can't say that the property doesn't have to be fixed, because it does.
No, I understand that, and I'm working on it now.
I mean, I can give
I've
you,
got the pool halfway cleaned out. If you've noticed, the pool is halfway cleaned out. I've had metal people coming over, helping me taking out that. I found a guy that said he would suck all the water out of the pool, and then I have friends that are gonna finish that off. But these are my two friends here
How
that
much,
said
how much time do you
thanks.
think you would need to
As
bring
much
the-
as you can possibly give me.
You gotta ask for something. I just can't pull a number out. I mean, how much time, you're the one that's doing it, or
Can you
having
give me a
people do
few
it.
months?
Do you have a sale date or a closing date?
No,
No. Okay. Are you under a sales contract?
no.
Okay.
No, because I was actually gonna get a couple more bids. It's the lady that's across the street offered me, but she's giving me a very low bid, and I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get back to work, so whatever money I get out of this house is what I've gotta live on. I can't live on my social security check.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
I mean, I've explained even with the previous case that, you know, the vacant property is gonna continue to attract this kind of activity, and
Well, I
in
found
the
that
past, that,
the neighbors that live in the house on the next street over, the gray house that has the little children, he came over and talked to me in Spanish the other day, but I had a translator, the man that was fixing my fence from the VFW. And he said that he has threatened him because he's catching him they're taking showers, he's taking a bath in broad daylight on the property at 801. He was taking, till you had him put the no trespassing signs up. They were catching him nude, taking a bath in their water hose. That's why I had my water cut off so that he couldn't use my water.
I mean, the problem here is that code enforcement is, and a code enforcement hearing is not a great forum to address what I think are extramural issues associated with this property. I don't have either the authority or the power to address some of what I think are fair points that you're raising here. What I can do is I can give you time, but I don't know that solves your underlying problem, so I don't know,
Well, I
what's the
think
city?
he's gone now. As of about 2 weeks ago, this man told me that if he catches him over there, because he was in his backyard urinating, and he has 2 small children, and I've also called the Child Protective Services, and they wouldn't do anything about it, but he said that he threatened him that if he ever comes back.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but like,
I don't know what to do with it.
I haven't seen that homeless man in a while. I've seen a different one on this property when I was posting it. Like I said, a vacant property is gonna attract that. Like I said, it's not secure. The securing part, I don't wanna go more than 30 days. I
Well, I
wanna,
have the
I wanna
child,
stand strong on that order.
I have the child fence lock thing. It's just the guy who fixed my fence didn't realize how to, because I had to buy that.
Yeah.
That was the last time.
But why don't we
I had to
do,
buy that.
let me suggest the following. How about 30 days to secure the property so you can focus on the fence, and then 90 days to fix the rest? Would that work for the city?
Can we do 60?
Do you think you could get it done in 60?
I don't know if I can get all that done in 60 days.
I'll give you the 90, but you got to get the property secured within 30 days.
I can get that.
Otherwise, we're going to be back here again, because apparently it's an attractive nuisance to homeless, right? All right.
Well, all you're talking about, I have the gate lock on the one gate,
Yeah.
but the other gate, I have the child lock thing. He just didn't realize how to install it. And I have it. I had to order that specially a long time ago.
All right, so
For a
this
full
is what I'm gonna
company.
do in this case. In case CE 230800409, I'm gonna find that notice is good and sufficient. And, you know, the other thing to do on the notice, so what the law requires is that the city send to you the notice through whatever is the address that you've listed on the property appraiser's records. So that's what they're required to do. But you can give them an address to send you notices to.
I have got the recent one updated.
Yeah, so-
Everything is being transferred to my friend's condo that I'm staying in,
Yeah.
that's taking care of
Yeah,
me.
so make sure you do that, and also I would get the phone number of the code officer so that you can update him on your progress.
I have it. I called you and left you a
Okay.
message.
I didn't get anything.
All right,
I'll-
so let me
I'll
do
get
this.
with
In
you.
in this
Called you a
case,
few days ago to ask you what I need to do
I'll get
before I
with you.
come here, and
Okay.
you didn't
All
get
right, so-
back with me.
so in case CE 2308040, I'm going to find that notice is sufficient. I'm going to find the property in violation of 18106A, 94304E21B, 18106N, 18106A, 18106C, 18103E, and 18103B. And I'm gonna order as follows. As to the fence, 94304E21B, I'm getting the respondent 30 days to bring that into compliance by
That's just a lock on the fence?
that is securing the property. That's, I assume that's essentially all she
Yes.
needs to do, okay. All right, so securing the fence and getting a proper installed lock on there. And as to the remaining provisions, I'm gonna give the respondent 90 days to bring the property into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
What was the second one? I'm sorry.
So if you don't meet the deadlines, you're gonna, a fine of $100 a day is going to
Right,
start.
but what was the other thing that I'm supposed to meet?
Oh, well, there's like 5 things. You got the pool and spa, clean and sanitary, you got your drainage, you got your windows. So everything that the officer
I got the
testified to?
windows done.
Okay.
The shutters either need to be, you need to apply for a permit to keep the shutters up, or you need to repair the window.
How do I apply for a permit to do that?
Building department.
I'm just trying to keep him out in case he comes back.
I'm gonna ask, Officer Pasmino, could you set up a time to sit down with the respondent and go through exactly what she needs to do on these?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask the officer to sit down and walk you through exactly what needs to come into compliance. I gave you more time than I typically would in this case, because I'm trying to get my head around what is obviously a very difficult situation that you have going here.
Special
But-
magistrate. I had asked for a higher fine because of the previous history. You said $100 a day.
But this was all because of him. This was,
Let me do this. I'm gonna say it's up to $250, and then, and I'm gonna ask before the fine sets to reset this in front of me as a status hearing to see what's been going on. All right. Good luck. I wish you the best. I hope you're able to resolve this.
Just to be clear, you want to reset it before the 30-day fine starts, or the 90 days?
Let's do it before the 90, because the 30 days is pretty obvious. Just fix the fence or not. But but before the 90s,
how
let's
do I
reset
set
it.
this with you? And you gotta also tell me where I go with this.
That's all we have for contested matters at this time. Is anyone else here for a case?
Is anyone else here for a case that's on the agenda?
Sir, are you here for a case? You are? What's your? Oh,
Okay. Those aren't until 11:30, so you got a little bit of time.
and what is your name, sir? Are you, sir? Okay.
Okay, next case number 14215 Half Greenwood Ave 2, CE 230800468.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance, Jay Francis. This property was cited on 8/17/23. Certified mail and regular mail was sent on 8/21/23. Both the property and City Hall were posted on 9/7/23. Affidavit of posted was completed and placed in the file. I have been in contact with this property owner. This property was cited for excessive growth, outdoor storage, trash can in public view, hazardous waste, a prohibited vehicle, and unpaved parking. As of yesterday, the property owner has removed the prohibited vehicle. All other violations are still pending. Therefore, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for the property to come into compliance. If they do not get into compliance within this time frame, then the city is asking $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of questions, because I apologize.
That's fine.
So you may have said this. Did you send the notice by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you post the property with the notice?
Yes, ma'am.
And you posted City Hall with the notice?
Sure did.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed.
Yes, ma'am.
For those remaining alleged violations, can you please tell us, for the record, what it is that you observed?
To the south side of the property, there's still a bunch of excessive growth. The outdoor storage by the second unit is still there, right there. The trash can is, both trash cans are still in the corner right there. They have not removed the tires There's a couple of pictures that show tires in different places. It's still there, and they're still parking the cars on the grass.
Okay, so, easy one, trash can, you're seeing that from the road, and that trash
Yes.
can is out during days and times that are
Yes.
not permitted, is that accurate? Okay,
It never moves.
okay. And you talked a little bit about outdoor storage, you're seeing cars there on multiple days that are parking not on the
Yeah,
driveway, is
different
that
cars
accurate?
at all the time.
When was your last inspection?
Yesterday around 3:15.
Are you still seeing cars?
Yes.
Yeah,
As
okay,
a matter of fact, they put a new one on the swale yesterday.
okay. What's the hazardous waste?
It's the tires. They have a couple of them right by the trash can there, and then if you go through the pictures, there's one closer to the first unit.
Okay, and it's your testimony that tires are within the definition of hazardous waste in
Yes.
that 74, Chapter 74, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And,
There you go.
and very quickly, can you just describe more about the overgrowth?
Yes, to the south side of the property and where they store the garbage cans, the grass is above 6 inches, which is what the ordinance says it should be below.
Okay, we see a picture of somebody holding the notice of violation. When you talked to the owner, were you able to give that notice of violation
Yes,
directly to
I
the
have
owner?
delivered the notice.
All right, very good. Do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, it should be.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents as evidence as city's composite exhibit. So everything is still at issue except for the prohibited vehicles.
Yes, I guess,
Was that that big
he
truck?
got another load, so he took the trailer away, but everything is there.
That was that big truck trailer
Yes,
thing?
and he parked it behind the 3 cars on the grass too, so it was
Truck looked bigger than the house.
weird.
And then I guess I saw the overgrowth, the outdoor storage, is that the tires?
On the second unit, there's a bunch of pails and pans that she stored on the patio back there.
All right, trash can I saw. Hazardous waste must be the tires.
Tires, yes.
And parking is more than 3 cars on the property.
Yeah, they had a new truck there yesterday attached to a boat. Parked
Sure, the
in
neighbors
soil.
must love that, huh? All right, case CE 230804688. For the record, is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of all listed code sections except for 94487B1. I hereby adopt by reference the testimony of the officer as to the nature of those conditions. I hereby order the respondent to come into compliance within 30 days or a fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 2 is complied, 917 Market Street, CE 230800517. Number 3, 1915 Hiltonia Circle, CE 230800408.
I sense you're going to tell me about trees.
Right. Good morning, Raphael Forster, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on 8/1/23. This property was cited on 8/1/23. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 8/4/23. Certified mail was returned on 8/24. In addition, both the property and City Hall was posted on 9/8/23. There is an affidavit posting in the case. I have not been in contact with the owner of the property. This property was cited for 94-446-2-2-B3, hat racking. City is asking for $250 each tree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just a couple of questions while we bring up the photographs. How many trees are we talking about?
2.
Okay, and where are they located in relation to the property itself?
In front of the house on the swale.
Okay, there we go. And when was your last inspection?
That would be September 8th.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
September
you.
8th. September 8th.
September 8th was the last time that you went past the property?
Yes.
Okay, and can you just describe for the record what it is about hat racking? just so we have it in the record.
Both trees were supposed to be trimmed, but the owner decided to go ahead and cut pretty much everything off the tops on both sets of trees on the swale.
Okay, have you seen any growth coming back?
No growth at this point.
Okay, but it would be your testimony that even if it regrows, that's not the point of hat racking, right?
Correct. It
Hat-
won't. It won't be the same.
Right. Hat racking causes weakness in the regrowth, which can present a danger if those limbs fall during hurricane weather or excessive winds, and thus can be a danger, especially in the swales or parkway, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, you said you saw 2 trees, right?
Yes.
Okay. Photographs that we reviewed, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes.
Okay, and technically, hat racking, it's irreversible. It's been done, even if it flowers again or leaves again. Hat racking again, because it weakens the limbs. You can't fix that, right?
Correct.
Okay. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents. We saw some emails on the screen, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents as evidence as composite exhibit. Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? You know, I've seen hand racking before, but that's, yeah. No contact with the homeowner, though, huh?
No.
Even though there was a car in the driveway.
Yep.
They didn't answer the door?
Nope.
Yeah. So you're seeking a one-time fine of $250?
Yes, for
Per
both
tree.
trees.
Per tree? So $500 is what you're seeking?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 230804008, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient upon the property in violation of 944462B3 as in the case of 2 different trees. I specifically find that those trees were hat racked in violation of the city code. I hereby make further notice that said violation is irreparable in nature and hereby issue a one-time fine for each tree in the amount of $250 for a total fine of $500.
Case number 4, 628 41st Street, CE 230804663.
Good morning. Santa Mills Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. The property at 628 41st Street was cited on 8/17/2023. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on 8/17/2023. Certified mail was signed for on 8/21/2023. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 9/5/2023. I have not been in contact with the property owner. The property was cited for swale maintenance as well as outdoor storage, overgrowth, and unpaved parking. As of yesterday, the only thing that has come into compliance is the outdoor storage. Everything else is still outstanding, so the city is asking for an additional 10 days and $100 per day.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
There is?
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by first-class mail,
Yes.
or regular first-class mail? And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
They do.
With regard to the remaining alleged violations, can you just please tell us for the record what it is you observed?
Sure. So we still have a vehicle parked on the grass. Originally, there were 2. One was removed, so we still have one there. And the grass is still overgrown. The landscape itself, as well as the swale. Originally, with the both vehicles being parked there, I didn't even see that they had a patch because the vehicles have been sitting there for so long because I've been observing the vehicles since late part of July, just to determine whether or not they were operable. But for some reason, they would always be in the same spot until recently we have a change. And then for the outdoor storage, it was some tires, they had those removed, and we still have vehicles parked on the property, that is. In the grass.
Okay. And I think I saw from your pictures that your latest inspection was yesterday?
That's correct.
Okay, and you're still seeing the cars, you're still seeing these patches on the swales?
The grass is still overgrown, and yes, they still have one more vehicle on the grass. There were
Okay.
2.
All right. And do you believe that 10 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
I do, because the longer those vehicles stay on the grass, the more it's killing the landscape, the grass does.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, pop-up printout sheet, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I will accept the documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. I don't really have anything to ask you other than I think I'm going to give them 14 days instead of 10 just to make sure that they have enough time to do this. Case CE 230804663, make the following findings of fact in law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of 7994C, specifically the swells and parkways have to be properly sodded and maintained within 6 inches, which they are not being done. 744C3, overgrowth, including all the overgrowth on the side of the property. 94482A, which is parking 3 vehicles on the property. Respondent has 14 days to bring the property into compliance or fine of $100 per day. Mission.
Number 5 is complied, 512 47th Street, CE 230800576. Number 6 is complied, 1401 Village Boulevard, 1918, CE 230800432. Number 7 is rescheduled, CE 230800511. Not sure what the address is. Number 8, 232 Gray Street, CE 230800507.
Good morning, Sonia Ben, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 22nd, 2023. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on August 23, 2023. Certified mail was sent on August 23rd as well, 2023. The property was cited for 18106K, 18215B, landscape maintenance and failure to comply. I have not made contact with the property owner. This property is still in compliance for all code cited. This property was also cited back in July for outdoor storage, landscape maintenance, and visible trash can. To date, the property is still out of compliance. And based on my observation, this property is a vacant property. Due to the excessive overgrowth, this is a haven for snakes and other rodents that can affect the life, health, and safety concern of the neighborhood. The city is requesting an immediate abatement, as well as I also want to strike Code 18106K from the agenda as well.
So I apologize, I might have missed a couple of things, so bear with me. Is there an executed affidavit of posted in your file? And was the notice of violation sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes.
Notice of violation posted at City Hall?
Yes.
Photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
Correct.
Okay, so we can see from the photographs that there is a great deal of overgrowth all throughout the property, certainly greater than 6 inches, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You mentioned that in July there was another case, previous case. One of the code sections appeared, by what you said, to be also landscape. Was it the 18106K, same
Right.
thing? Is that,
That's
did they bring that into compliance, that
No.
case? So would there be a fine running for that
Correct.
18106K?
That's why I'm striking it from this. Yes.
Okay, so we're not striking it. You are asking for an immediate abatement because it's still running. And are you seeing that the condition is worse now than it was back in the July, would that be 2023 or 2022?
23.
So you're seeing a condition that is even worse than July 2023, correct? And during your various inspections or drive-bys in the neighborhood, have you seen it been fixed at all?
No improvement.
And then overgrown again? It's just not fixed at all?
Correct.
Okay, so with respect to, you talked a little bit about the health, safety, and welfare. Is it your testimony that, with all this overgrowth, it's not only a haven for snakes and other vermin, but it's also an attractive nuisance for just people dumping garbage and thus developing, disease and other types of things that can be a public safety concern, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
And so for abatement, you're asking for that to be done immediately, correct?
Yes.
And that's to fix the overgrowth, is that accurate?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, pop-up printout sheet, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept the evidence. The evidence your case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. There's nobody living here, right?
No, not that I observed. So every post that I post at the property is still on the door. Nothing, no movements of the trash can, the outdoor storage that actually is being stored underneath the carport.
Where did when you mail the notices, do they go to the home address or do they go somewhere else?
It goes to the address on file, on Papa. So whatever address, I think it's the same address as the property address. I spoke to neighbors in the neighborhood, and they're not seeing anyone at the property as well. So.
And you've seen no effort to bring the property in compliance from the original citation back in July?
No.
And you believe the condition of the property constitutes a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood by
Correct.
habitat for vermin and attractive nuisance to vagrants?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 23080-507, to make the following findings of fact and law, if I notice is sufficient from the property violation of 18106K and 18215B, specifically the front, side, and rear yards have not been maintained in accordance with the city code, and it consists of overgrowth and habitat for vermin. I make further finding that said violation constitutes a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. I order the respondent to immediately come into compliance. In the absence of compliance, I hereby authorize the city of West Palm Beach to enter the property and abate any and all of these violations, and hereby assess the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Thank you.
Number 11, 624 Selkirk Street, CE 230800513.
Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 23rd. Certified mail was sent out August 24th. It was returned August 30th. The property and City Hall were both posted on August 29th. Affidavit of posting / first class mail was completed, notarized, and attached to the case file. I have had contact with the owner's niece who lives at the property. And this property was cited for hurricane hazard for vegetation in the rear that was overgrown and touching the power lines. Clean and sanitary conditions for dirty, stained surfaces on the structure, driveway, sidewalk. Excessive growth of grass, weeds, flora. Trees, hedges obstructing the right of way. Chickens being kept on the property. Exterior paint. And that's it. As of Monday, the property has complied code sections 74-4-C-1 for hurricane hazard. They cut the palm trees that were in the rear. Code section 18106B, excessive growth. They cut all excessive growth on the property. 74-4-C-4. They cut all the trees and hedges that were obstructing the right of way, specifically the sidewalk on Selkirk Street. And 14-1, the chickens. They removed all the chickens from the property. like I said, I met with the tenant, who is the niece of the owner who lives at the property. And we went over all the violations. She's the one who actually did all the work to comply the violations.
What's left?
What's left is the pressure washing the house and the unsanitary conditions, the dirty, stained sidewalk, driveway, exterior surfaces of the property, and exterior paint. With that being said, the owner and myself are in agreement with the city to give 60 additional days to comply those violations, or we're asking for a fine of $50 a day until those violations are complied.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Just for the record, can you tell us the difference between the pressure washing and the paint requirement? Like, in other words, are you seeing
Yes.
chips of paint or something that really needs to be painted versus pressure washed?
Yeah, look, in that posting, if you go, as I was posting, the paint is chalky and the protective barrier is no longer good for the paint. And as she pressure washed, a lot of the paint came off, chipped off. And during my initial inspection, there are areas where paint was missing and is chipped and is required.
Okay, thank you very much. Photographs that we've been reviewing, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations?
Yes.
And I know that you and she agreed on 60 days. Your testimony is that 60 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up sheet, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon. Certified mailing documents, too.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing no one without objection, I'll accept all of those files and evidence as city's composite exhibit. In case CE 230805513, make the following findings of fact and law. Find notice is sufficient from the property in violation 18106A. Specifically, the property has to be maintained in a clean and sanitary way, including the yards, courts, and driveways. And I find the property in violation of 18106G, which is it's missing paint. Give respondent 60 days to come to compliance or fine of $50 per day, Mayor.
Thank you.
Number 12225 Monroe Drive, CE 23070194.
Good morning. Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Both the property and City Hall was posted on August 15. Certified mail hasn't been returned. I've had no contact with the property owner, and as of this morning, there wasn't an application in the system for a rental license, and the property is still being advertised as of today. City is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. I just want to make sure this is 225 Monroe Drive.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so we're seeing on the screen right now, that's an advertisement online for this particular property. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And when approximately did you access this internet to see that it's for sale?
Initially, it was
for rent.
Initially, it was back in July, and like I said, as of this morning, I went in and added a recent photograph as of this morning.
Thank you very much. And the affidavit, is there an affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did we have a photo of posting or no? And the photograph of posting, is that an accurate photograph of the posting of this notice of violation for this case for this property?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And there's also, if you go to the other photograph, you would see there's at the property, you would see a sign that says for rent.
Oh, can we see that?
That photograph, come down, right there.
Excellent, thank you, and that was August 15th.
All right, there we go.
30 days, a reasonable amount of time within which to get this license and COU?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, as well as the internet advertisements.
All right, without objection, I'll accept those documents as evidence, the city's composite exhibit. So we're looking at 30 days, or was it $100? $200.
200.
So this is just the rental license and certificate of use.
Yes, sir.
All right, in case CE 230709194, make the following findings of fact and law. I find the notice is sufficient. I find the property violation of 2232A and 22441, essentially offering a property for rent in the city without a rental license or certificate of use. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance, or fine of $200 per day measure.
Can we do 12 and 13 together at same owner?
13 and 14.
13 and 14.
Two,
sorry.
232 Rugby Road, CE 230709191, and number 14, 3020 Vincent Road, CE 230709192.
Officer Levine, City of West Palm. Both these properties were cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Both properties were posted on August 15, as well as City Hall. I did have communications with the realtor for this property owner. We've had a few email exchanges. They did apply for the licenses. However, the LLC is not registered in Florida. So I told her that she needed to get this LLC registered, and to date, it hasn't been done. As of this morning, the properties are still being advertised for rent, and there is a photograph of in there from Sunbridge showing that the LLC is not registered. So for both properties, the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance at $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. With regard to the 232 Rugby Road, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
And the notice of violation was sent by certified and regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe we're going to see a photograph of posting. That's an accurate photograph of posting of this property at Rugby Road for this case, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And if we can see the advertisement or a photograph of it being for rent, that would be great. Okay. And your testimony is that it is still for rent, correct?
It is still
And
for rent.
It's still being advertised online?
Still being advertised.
Okay.
However, what they need to do is just register the business, the LLCs in Florida.
Right. And then let's move, and 30 days, a reasonable amount of time to get this registration taken care of?
Yes, ma'am. The registration actually takes about 48 hours.
Okay. And then let's move to the Vincent Road address. Notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail.
Yes, ma'am.
Executed affidavit of posting in your file.
Yes, ma'am.
Accurate photographs of posting and either for rent or the advertisement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's a similar situation as you testified. So again, 30 days is more than appropriate because it takes
Absolutely.
about 48 hours. Okay. And on this one, if we can just see the advertisement.
I feel like the other system was faster. Was it, or is it just me?
It was.
What? Okay, and the 18,500 a month, this is the 3020 Vincent Road address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and again, your testimony is that it is still for rent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence in the 232 Rugby Road case, the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, the advertisement, as well as the Sunbiz printout. And I'd like to say for the Rugby Road address, the violation code sections are 2232A and 22441.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And then on the Vincent Road address, we'd like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, advertisement, and Sunbiz.
Okay, without objection, I'll admit the evidentiary case files in both cases consisting of the documents listed by counsel respectively are admitted. In case CE 230709191, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441, specifically offering a price for rent without a certificate of use or a rental license because of the absence of having the LLC registered. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue. In case CE 230709192, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 2232A and 22441, specifically renting a property without a rental license or certificate of use because the corporation is not properly registered. I hereby give the respondent 30 days to bring the property into compliance or a fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Number 15, 222 Monceau Road, CE 230708183.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Certified mail was signed for on 7/24/2023. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 8/15/2023. I've had no contact with the property owner, and as of this morning, there isn't an application on file for this rental license. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. I apologize. I may have missed a couple of things you said, so please be patient with me.
No, absolutely.
Executed affidavit of posted in your file.
Yes, ma'am.
Notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail.
Yes, ma'am.
Posted at the property and posted at City Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your testimony as to how you know that it's being rented?
There's an active application, advertisement online.
Okay. And when did you most recently check to make
This
sure?
morning.
Okay, very good. And you're asking for 30 days, is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you think that's enough time to
Absolutely.
get that taken care of? All right, and the photographs, those are accurate photograph of posting for this notice of violation at this property?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, as well as the advertisement.
Without objection, I accept those documents and evidence. The city's composite exhibit in case CE 230708183. Make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient on the property in violation of 2232A and 22441, specifically offering a property for rent without a rental license or certificate of use. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Number 16, 3220 South Olive Avenue, CE 230708186.
This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Certified mail was signed for on July 24th, 2023. The property in City Hall was posted on 8/15/2023. There is an active application on file for a rental license for this property. An inspection of this property was conducted on 9/1/2023 and failed the inspection for missing screens. Every window at that property had no screens. Light fixtures and the exhaust fan in one of the baths was not working. The realtor that was present with me during that inspection, I reached out to her again on Monday to get an update as to where we stood with it and didn't get a response. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Photograph, is that an accurate photograph of posting at this property of this notice of violation?
We didn't see the photograph, but there is a photograph of the poster. Would be date would be 8/15. Yes, ma'am.
All right. 30 days a reasonable amount of time to get these items done that you were talking about?
Absolutely.
All right. And, okay, thank you. And again, we saw up on the screen an advertisement online that they were renting,
Yes, ma'am.
and there's
There's
an
an
application in the file. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, application, and advertisement, and any emails.
Can they just not respond to you when you?
Well, the three of the property owners, they did respond. The others, I've had no response whatsoever from them.
Seems like weird to me because if they're trying to rent a property, you would think they would be accessible, right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
And it's advertised on several different platforms.
All right. In case CE 2307086, I make the following findings of fact and law. Find notice sufficient. Find the property in violation 22441 and 2232A, specifically renting a property without a certificate of use or rental license. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Number 174206 Washington Road, CE 230700202.
This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 8/15/2023. There is no active application in the system for a rental license, and I've had no contact with the property owner. The city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance with $200 a day thereafter. As of this morning, the property was still advertised for rent.
And when was your last access of the advertisement to show it was for rent?
This morning.
Okay, thank you. And is there an executed affidavit posted in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the notice of violation was also sent by certified mail, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And 30 days a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Absolutely.
And I think there's a photograph in there. Is that a true and accurate photograph of, if you scroll down, is that a true and accurate photograph of posting of this notice of violation at this property?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, advertisement, and any emails.
All right, in case CE 230700202, I'll accept an evidence the evidence case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. Find the property in violation of 22441 and 2232A, specifically renting a property without a certificate of use or rental license. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $200 per day may issue.
Number 18724 20th Street, CE 230804553. And the respondent was here on this one, but they left.
That's correct. Good morning. Officer Underwood, City West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 724 20th Street was initially cited on August 15th, 2023. Certified mail was sent out August 16th. Both City Hall and the property were posted August 17th, and certified mail was returned August 21st. I have been in contact with this property owner that was cited for a trash can in view of public and excessive growth, which is weeds, flora, and grass. He started working on cutting the grass and had lawnmower troubles. So the city's requesting additional 10 extra days or $50 a day thereafter till the property comes into compliance. And as I said, he was here this morning and I spoke with him and gave him some directions on other stuff to trim, like the bushes and the hedges and stuff that he was unaware of, and he assures me he's going to get it complied.
Does he understand that he only has 10 days to do it?
Yeah. Like I said, he had originally started doing it, as you can see in the one picture, where the grass is a little bit shorter, and then had lawnmower troubles, is what he says.
Okay. It's certainly possible.
Just a couple of quick questions. There's an executed affidavit posted in the file.
Yes, there is.
And does it reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
That's correct.
Photographs that we've been reviewing, they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, they do.
Just for the record, the trash can is something that you can see from the road and is out during days and times that it's not appropriate for garbage pickup. Is that accurate?
That's correct. There's two of them.
All right. And I know that, I think he asked if you felt that 10 days was a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, he's already had 30, so, but like I said, with the lawnmower trouble that he's stating, 10 days, it doesn't take 10 days to cut the grass.
Okay. Just a reminder for the special magistrate, you previously gave 14 days to somebody, especially, I don't know if you want to consider that just because
It's completely fine. Yep.
Yeah,
for
I'll give-
mailing purposes.
I'll give
I
this
don't know.
person the 14 days just to be consistent because it's a very similar case.
Okay.
All right, case CE 2308043, I'll accept the evidence, the evidence case
We
file.
submit the case file too, please.
Yeah, I'm doing it. As city's composite exhibit, I'll find the property in violation of 7434A1H, which is a trash can that is in public view, and 18106B, which is excessive weeds and growth in grass and other flora. Give the respondent 14 days to come to compliance or fine up to $50 per day measure.
Number 19, 914 13th Street, CE 230704141.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property, 914 13th Street, was initially cited on August 8th, 2023. Certified layout was sent out August 31st. Both the property and City Hall were posted August 8th, and certified letters returned September 9th. This property was cited for excessive growth, clean and sanitary conditions, and obstructions of the right-of-way. I have not been in contact with the property owner of this empty lot, and the city's requesting 14 days or immediate abatement.
Thank you. Lots of questions. There's an executed affidavit of posting in the file, correct?
Yes, there is.
And it reflects that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail.
That's correct.
Photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, they do.
There's also a photograph there of the posting of this vacant property. Is that an accurate photograph of posting of this notice of violation for this case at this property?
Yes.
All right, and for the record, can you tell us what it is that you're seeing at this vacant lot?
So the grass and weeds are obviously severely overgrown. It's been neglected for months, and it's an attractive nuisance for the homeless people, animals, vermin, and they dump their trash in the bushes and the long grass, and it's just a nuisance.
Okay, and do you also feel, in addition to being an attractive nuisance, that not only it attracts potential homeless people, but other kinds of dumping?
Correct.
Including dangerous items, or it attracts various creatures and insects and all sorts of things like that that could be disease carrying and spreading?
That's correct.
And do you believe this rises to the level of a health, safety, and welfare violation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you're asking for abatement, correct?
14 days in abatement, that's fine.
Okay, very good, thank you. All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents as evidence, the city's composite exhibit. Have you had any contact with the owner of this property?
0.
Is the mailing address different than the actual address?
It's what's listed on property appraisers.
All right, in case CE 230704141, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106B, 18106A, and 78-1. Specifically, there are excessive growth on the property, especially grass and flora. There is trash, and the property has been kept in an unsanitary condition, and that the growth is obstructing the sidewalk, forcing people to step out onto the street. I remember make further finding that said violation constitutes a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. Specifically, it provides habitat for vermin and obstructs the right-of-way. Give the respondent 14 days to come into compliance. In the absence of compliance, I authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all of these violations. I hereby assess the costs of abatement against the property and property owner.
Number 20 is complied, 914 13th Street, CE 2308047. Number 21 is complied, 1386 13th Street, CE 230804449. Number 22, 1036 23rd Street, CE 230800501.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 1036 23rd Street was initially cited August 21st. Certified mail was sent out August 22nd. Both the property and City Hall were both posted August 22nd. And certified mail was returned August 28th. This property was cited for excessive growth on an empty lot. I have not been in contact with the property owner, and the city's requesting 14 days or immediate abatement due to health safety concerns for overgrowth and trash debris.
Thank you. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, there is.
And does that affidavit reflect the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
We just saw a photograph of posting of the notice of violation at this vacant lot. Is that an accurate photograph of posting of this notice of violation for
Yes.
this property?
Yep.
All right. And photographs are accurate with respect to the alleged violations that you've observed?
That's correct.
So it's your testimony that there's an enormous amount of overgrowth, is it not?
That's true, yes.
Okay, so not only, looks like the trees might be overgrown as well as everything there on the lot, correct?
Correct.
Is it your testimony that the status of this overgrowth is an attractive nuisance for illegal dumping or other types of nuisance nature activities, and attracts also vermin and pests and things that are disease carrying and spreading?
That's correct.
Okay. And so you're asking for 14 days or abatement, did I hear that correctly?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, papa sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit. In case CE 230800501, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106B, excessive growth on the property, trees, plants, flora, and just about anything that appears to be growing on that property. It looks overgrown. I give the respondent, actually, let me make further findings. Said condition of the property constitutes a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach by providing habitat for vermin and attractive nuisance for vagrants and garbage. I hereby give the respondent 14 days to come into compliance. In the absence of compliance, I authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all of this violation. I hereby assess the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Number 23, 1377 13th Street, CE 230800451.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 1377 13th Street was initially cited August 15th. Certified mail was sent out August 16th. Both City Hall and the property were posted August 17th. And certified mail was returned August 20th. This property was cited for excessive growth, and I have not been in contact with the property owners, and the city is requesting 14 days or $100 a day thereafter until the properties come into compliance.
Is anyone living here?
Excuse me?
Somebody living? Looks like someone's living on this
Somebody's
property.
living there, yep.
They're just not mowing their lawn.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posted in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
Photographs we've reviewed, are they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations you've observed?
Yes, they do.
And it's your testimony that there's excessive growth of weeds and other flowering little things on the
Yes.
on the property, and your photographs show that the most recent inspection was just yesterday, right?
Correct.
So you're still seeing that as of yesterday.
Is that supposed to be the sidewalk?
No, that's a normal size sidewalk.
And is 14 days a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, papa sheet, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any and all other documents relied upon.
All right, without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence. The city's composite exhibit is case CE 2308045. I want to make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106B, excessive growth. It looks like the lawn has not been mowed. Respondent has 14 days to come to compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Number 24 is complied, 633 55th Street, CE 230600210. Number 26 is complied, 605 48th Street, CE 230600370. Number 27 is complied, 718 59th Street, CE 230600309. Number 28, 516 49th Street, CE 230704002.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on July 31st. Certified mail was sent August 1st. Certified mail still shows in transit. City Hall was posted August 15th. This property was cited for repair to windows, repair windows and ceilings, and make weather tight, repair exterior doors and windows, and repair interior walls. As of yesterday, all violations were still out of compliance. The city's, well, I haven't heard back anything from this property owner from the last time that I cited him and brought it into magistrate hearing. So on this one, the city's requesting 40 days at $200 per day after.
Thank you very much. A couple of questions. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it does.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
The photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
You mentioned that you had cited them the last time. Did they have the same code
Well,
sections?
no, the last time I cited them, they were adamant about getting the items fixed because they were in the process of selling it. I guess now they're not selling it anymore. So now when I wrote the new violation, I haven't heard anything back. I even sent an email to reach out to them, but I haven't heard anything from them this go around.
Okay, I just want to make sure
It's
because
totally separate things, though.
totally
Yes, ma'am.
different things.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very good. Okay, thank you so much. And just for the record, can you tell us what it is that you've observed?
Yes, I was called in by the tenant, unit number 2. She still has a water intrusion that was coming in the window that they seemed to just put spackle over. When the doors, when it rained, it also, what you're seeing here is just some images that I shared with a building because they also have a case for this property. Just some creative plumbing and electrical work on the outside. My pictures are also attached from the actual unit as well with this case.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you believe that 40 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to get these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit. In case CE 230704002, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I hereby adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I order the respondent to come to compliance within 40 days or a fine of $200 per day. May I issue?
Number 29, 721 53rd Street, CE 230603111.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June the 23rd. Certified mail was sent June 26th. Certified mail was received June 30th. City Hall was posted June 28th. This property was cited for sod of yard, prohibited vehicle, garbage can placement, unpaved parking, and sodding of the swell. As of yesterday, the only compliant violations were the sodding of the swell. The remaining violations were the prohibited vehicle, which is an extra large trailer, garbage can placement, unpaved parking, and sodding of the yard. With this, the city is requesting 30 days at $100 per day after.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, it was.
And was the notice of violation also posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
Photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe you said that they had removed the prohibited vehicle?
No,
No,
it's
they
still
did not.
there.
Okay. It's the one that's resolved, I apologize, is 7894C, Swales and Parkways.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry about that. And can you just tell us, for the record, what it is that you've observed?
As you can see here, there are several things stored outside the garbage can, building materials. Where the vehicle is parked, there's bare areas. The vehicle has a permanent parking spot, and it seems to only be natural up under it. All the grass is gone. The prohibited vehicle was moved to the other side of the yard after they got a small fence permit for the front. So all those items had not been changed. They just added a fence in the front, I guess, to make it harder for you to see. As you can see in this image, they have a fence up front now. But the trailer is still there in the grass and everything else.
Thank you very much. And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time within which to bring these alleged violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, pop-up printout sheet, Certified mailing documents and photographs.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents as evidence, the city's composite exhibit. So are all of the code sections still at issue?
Yes, all except for the sodding and swell.
Did they actually
would-
sod it?
Yeah, they put down grass in the swell.
That's nice. But they still got 3 cars parking here, they still have
Yeah,
landscaped areas that need grass?
Yes, the cars are still parked in the in the middle of the yard. They just put a fence across it now.
All right, so trash can still in public view,
Yes, sir.
and they still got that commercial vehicle there?
The commercial trailer is still in the yard, yes, as of yesterday.
All right, case CE 230603111, I make the following findings of fact in life. I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation, 9440 CB1, specifically commercial trailer parked on the property, 7434A1H, there is trash can in public view, 94442C1, that the landscaped areas are missing grass and have to be properly sodded, and 94482A, the limit of number of cars on the property. I hereby give the respondent 30 days to come to compliance or $100 per day may issue.
Number 30, 5014 Pinewood Avenue, CE 230603110.
City of West Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited on June 23rd. Certified mail was sent June 27th. Certified mail is still in transit with USPS. Property, City Hall was posted June 28th. This property was cited for trash and debris, excessive growth, and landscape maintenance. As of yesterday, the only one that came into compliance was trash and debris. Remaining violations are the excessive growth and landscape maintenance. The city is requesting 30 days at $100 per day after for this one.
Thank you very much. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photographs that we're reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed?
Yes, ma'am.
For the remaining alleged violations, can you please tell us for the record what it is you observed?
I'll wait for her to pull up the image so I can show you. Yeah, there.
What do you got?
All right. Well, this one, they cut the front of 5014. That parcel has 2. They cut the 736 yard, but it didn't do any landscaping of the one just behind it of the 714. They both share a parcel. You see there when the gentleman was out cutting, but they didn't cut the unit behind it. There's 2. There's on that one parcel, which is 714, 73650 shares that one, as well as 714 on
One
Pinewood.
parcel, 2 units, and they only
Yes.
cut 1 unit.
Yep, they only cut the house on the corner and not the actual unit into the rear.
Well, that's progress.
Yeah.
And do you believe that 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, papa sheet, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit. In case CE 230600310, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 18106M and 18106B. Specifically, the landscaping has to be maintained and properly, as well as excessive growth has to be cut back. I specifically notice that they cut half the property, but not the other part of the property. Respondent has 30 days to come to compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Number 31, 4905 North Flagler Drive, CE 230603884.
It's still you.
Like a lot of violations listed.
Yeah. Oh, if the Flagler Drive should be complied.
Complied?
Complied.
Okay, and that completes the first part of the agenda.
All right, we're going to take a recess till 11:30 for the other matters agenda. So are you here for the other matters agenda? For lien reduction, okay. We're going to start those at 11:30, okay? I agree. All right, we're in recess till 11:30. Do we have anyone else waiting in the hallway? Am I what? I think mine's expired. Some cities have the clerk do it. Who's another? We can do it that way, too. I don't think it's a question that has a definitive answer. So, I'm perfectly fine letting you guys do it. All right, I hereby call this meeting to order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach Other Matters agenda, which is primarily dealing with reductions of fines. The cases are going to be heard in the order in which they appear on the agenda. Once you hear your case heard, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side, which is right over there. A representative of the city will be on my left-hand side. They will introduce the case, after which time you'll have the opportunity to present your case, and essentially, just to make matters a little more direct, tell me what you're asking for and give me the reason why I should give it to you. So what are you asking me for, and what is your justification for me doing so? After which time I will make a decision. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means that the formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you are going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's even a possibility that you might testify, just to save time, would you please rise, raise your right hand, and I'll have you sworn in. So if you're going to testify, stand up, raise your right hand. You think you might testify, it's possible you might testify. Stand up, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? All right, please be seated.
The first address for 1825 Windsor Avenue has a total of 11 cases. Numbers CE 080505556. Number 2, CE 18060423. Number 3, CE 10070286. Number 10. CE 080500369, number 11, CE 080500427, number 12, CE 09010938, number 17, CE 11030445, number 18, CE 11050388, number 19, CE 11080094, number 20, CE 11120296, and number 21, CE 12040353.
Officer Williams,
Let me suggest, since there are a lot, and this seems complicated, I presume this is complicated, right?
It is, yeah.
Why don't we save this to the end so that we'll have a little more time and everyone else here won't have to wait? Because there's, how many of these? 10?
There's 11 of them.
11 of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did. So.
Oh, you did?
Correct.
Okay, so it's not complicated. All right.
Well, the case files are. So this case went to hearing already last year, June 15th, 2022, and it was adjudicated. He had 365 days to pay the fee, which was $23,000. He paid about 25 days late, so he had to reapply. So there was already a credit for $23,000. We
spoke to the gentleman. We let him know that we were gonna ask for an additional $1,000 fine to get this wrapped all up.
Sir, can you tell me your name?
Yes, how you doing? Good day.
I'm well, thank you.
Yes. My name is Robert Brown Jr. and owner of property 1825 Windsor.
I'm guessing, so the city's representing that you had an agreement to settle this for, what was it, 23?
So he's already paid $23,000, and we're asking for an
And
additional
apparently you did
1,000.
not complete the payments within the amount of time, and so they're offering to allow you to pay $1,000 to settle the case. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes. I paid $7,500 as well before the $23,000, and it's just been a rough year for me. Haven't been as busy as normal, and
Yeah,
that's why I was a few
I
days
hear you.
late.
It's been a rough year for a lot of us. So that's fine with me. I think that's an acceptable agreement to me. So how much time do you need to pay the extra $1,000?
Am I able to get a clearance? I'm actually in the process of closing and selling the property in a
They're
few
not
days.
going to clear it until it's paid. So I can give you time to pay it, but if you're going to want it cleared, you're going to have to pay it.
Okay. Yes, I would say 6 months, 3 to 6 months, just to say. I know I close next week, but normally we're allowed to give you a check at closing to clear it up on that day, on the same day.
City has no objection, Your Honor.
All right. So, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
The most of the 6 months that you can give them, yeah.
Okay. All right. So $1,000, 6 months.
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to divide that up among the 11, I guess.
I'll do that.
All right. All right. Good luck, sir.
All right.
Number 4 and 5 for 1326 Longwood Street, CE 20090142 and CE 16060246.
All right, good morning, Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 1326 Longwood Street, they have two separate cases, two separate fines. The first one for CE 200900142. This was originally cited on September 11th, 2020. They were cited for overgrowth of the yard, boards on the windows. This went to a hearing October 7th, 2020. The fine was ordered to start as of November 23rd, 2020. It ran for 891 days at $100 a day, for a total of $89,100, and that was complied on May 3rd, 2023. For that case, the city is requesting 15% of the fine for a total of $13,365. For the second case, CE 16060246, this case was cited on June 10th, 2016, for unpaved parking, outdoor storage, garbage can in view of the public, sod required in the front yard, and clean and sanitary conditions. This went to hearing on July 20th, 2016, and it was ordered for the fine to start as of August 20th, 2016. That ran for 1,059 days at $100 a day for a total of $105,900, and this was complied July 15th, 2019. The city requests 10% of the lien for $10,590.
Can you tell me your names, please?
Vanessa Alma.
And sir?
Leo Molina.
And what is your relation to the owner, Guadalupe Ortiz?
I'm her husband.
Well, my husband.
I'm Vanessa's husband. That Guadalupe was my mother-in-law. She passed away.
Okay. She was your mother? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you're asking me for.
I'm requesting a complete
Reduction
of the lien.
And why would I do that?
Currently not working, stay-at-home mother.
I was not aware of the fines or the fees due. My brother was living there since, well, before my mother passed away, and has been living there and completely abandoned the property.
And then we complied with all the building department pulling permits for inspections and cleared out the lot and made sure we took care of everything that was needed to comply with the building department.
Yeah, you know, I'm not unsympathetic, because I know these are really big liens, and I know that, I guess you were not the property owner at the time that these happened. Were they the property owner? No.
It was the previous owner.
And so I certainly appreciate that, but you also have to understand it's a bit of a difficult challenge for me, because one of the most important thing that I do here is to encourage code compliance, right? And so what I can't create is the idea, because remember, we're on TV and people can watch me. I can't create the impression for people that they can violate the code and then years later just come back and then it doesn't mean anything, right? Because then there'd be no reason anyone would ever comply with the code. And so while I'm certainly willing, and I guess judging from what the city just testified to, the city's willing to make a major reduction, I'm certainly even willing to do that. And maybe I'd go even a little further. I can't reduce it to zero, so you have to make me an offer that I think is a little more reasonable in the sense so that people don't believe that the codes don't matter and they can run for 1,000 days of violations and end up, just getting them waived later.
Okay, we understand. What is the total amount?
Well, when you came in here, let's see, you had 89,100 on case 4 and 105,900 on case 5, and which is pretty.
Bless you.
Excuse me, I apologize. Which is a pretty substantial fine. I believe, if I remember the city's testimony correctly, they were willing to reduce the 89,100 to 13,300. And in case 5, they expressed a willingness to reduce the 105,900 to 10,590, which is 10%. Did I represent that accurately?
Mm-hmm.
So how would you respond to because their offer is a pretty substantial reduction. I mean, you walked in here with almost $200,000 in liens, and they reduced it essentially down to about 23 or 24,000. So that's a pretty big jump for the city. But tell me, if you make me another offer, I'll think about it.
Can we go with $2,000?
What, $1,000 for each case?
Yes, sir.
How would the city respond to that? It's a bit less than you proposed.
One second. The city has no objection to that offer, Magistrate.
I'd say you did pretty well then.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. I'm going to reduce case 4 to 1,000, case 5 to 1,000. Payable, how much time do you need?
6 months.
Um,
I'll try to, how much time do you want to give me?
6 months is sort of like the edge end. It's
3 months?
All right, I'll give you 90 days.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Next case number 6, 1349 9th Street, CE 1712025.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 1349 9th Street was originally cited on December 18, 2017. They were cited for boards on the windows that needed to be removed, garbage can in view of the public, paint needed on the structure, and fence and wall repair and or maintenance needed to be done. Per our records, this is the same owner that incurred the fine. 15 cases under this particular ownership. Service on this case was achieved by posting. This case went to hearing February 7, 2018. It was ordered for the fine to start February 28, 2018, It ran for 1,674 days at $100 a day, for a total of $167,400. And this was complied on September 29th, 2022. The city is requesting a reduction of 15% of the lien, which would be a total of $25,110.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Tracy McPhail.
Am I reading the fine right here? Because I got on my paper, it says 29.25.
Yeah, fine's wrong on there. It's wrong on this paper here. Yeah.
So just tell me what the actual numbers are supposed to be.
You're looking for the total fine?
Yeah, what's the total fine as of today?
$167,400.
And what was the city's offer?
15% for $25,110.
All right, I'm sorry, ma'am, and you said your name was?
Tracy McPhail.
And what is your relation to Nathaniel McPhail?
I'm the granddaughter of Nathaniel McPhail. He has passed away. He was a West Palm Beach police officer and a sheriff, and retired as working as a bailiff for the city.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
So what are you asking me for, ma'am?
I'm asking for 1% of the assessed fine. I live in Tampa, Florida, and as I said, I'm the granddaughter of Nathaniel McPhail, and it's been difficult trying to go back and forth and keep the property going. So I just want to get it up to code, pay the fine, and keep it moving. And this is, I think we've been going back and forth for a while now on this one, so I didn't know the balance that's listed here. I didn't know what the final amount was.
Yeah, apparently it's $167,400, which means this fine has been running a long time.
Yes.
Do you know why it ran for so long?
Yes, again, as I said, I've been in Tampa, and I've been trying to travel back and forth while working and keeping things going. And so I think this current amount was looked at recently when I tried to check on the property. One other thing is that the mail, I wasn't receiving any details. I did speak with one of the code enforcement people, and I got it up to speed in the past, but I haven't received this amount. And so it's been difficult, me being the only person trying to keep the property going and paying and checking on it and making sure that we comply with all the rules, especially during storm season. I would try to put the blinds up to protect the home, but then we would have to, try to get them down. And so I know that was a fine as well.
What's the city's position? I guess you've offered 25,000. She's asked for 1%. So if my math is correct, that's 1,674.
Yeah. The city would like to counter with 2,500 reduction on that. I'm not sure what the percentage of that is off the top of my head.
I think that's a pretty good deal.
Okay, 2,500.
I mean, you came in here with 167 and they're offering $2,500. I think that's pretty good. I can give you some time to pay though if you need.
Yeah, could we do it even 2,000?
I feel like I'm at an auction now.
We'll accept that offer. Magistrate.
How much time do you need?
90 days.
All right, reduce to $2,000 payable within 90 days.
Thank you.
Good luck, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
There's a copy of your order behind you. Case number 7623 32nd Street, CE 211102242.
Distress Solutions LLC.
Officer Williams. Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property at 623 32nd Street was originally cited November 17th, 2021. They were cited for overgrowth, and it also was a repeat violation. This case went to hearing January 5th, 2022. It was ordered for the fine started November 17th, 2021. It ran for 141 days at $50 a day for a total of $7,050. This was complied April 7th, 2022. This is the new owner. The violation was under the previous owner. There's only one case under their ownership. Service was achieved by posting. So the city requests a reduction of 15% of the lien for a total of $1,057.50.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Orlando Venegas.
Orlando
Vanegas.
Vanegas, and
Yes, sir.
are you a principal in Distress Solutions LLC?
Yes, I work with them.
You work with them, or are you?
Yeah, I represent the owner.
Okay, and they know you're here on their behalf?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tell me what you're asking me for and why I should grant it to you.
We are asking to pay $500 for each lien. We brought the property into compliance. We didn't purchase it. When we purchased it, it already had those liens.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll split the difference. $750 payable 60 days.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now we have numbers 8 and 9 for 709 54th Street, CE 1909034 and CE 200700470.
Coming up.
I'm not sure if the gentleman was sworn in, Magistrate.
It's my mom. The thing is like, probably you didn't meet me before. My name is.
He needs to swear you in, though.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 709 54th Street has two cases with liens against them. The first one, CE 1909034. This was cited on September 11th, 2019, for boards on the windows that needed to be removed, overgrowth of the yard, unpaved parking, inoperative vehicle parked at the residence, garbage can in view of the public, as well as outdoor storage. This went to magistrate hearing on October 16th, 2019. It was ordered for the fine to start November 18th, 2019. That ran for 50 days at $100 a day for a total of $5,000. This was complied January 7th, 2020. The city requests a reduction of 15% of that lien for a total of $750. This is the previous owner. There are 4 cases under that ownership. They represent the new ownership, and service was achieved on this case by posting the property. For the second case, CE 200-70470. This case was cited on July 31st, 2020. They were cited for a repeat violation of excessive growth on the property, as well as garbage can placement in view of the public. They were also cited for unpaved parking, outdoor storage, trash and debris present on the property, sod needed in the front yard. They were running a home-based business without a business tax receipt. Prohibited vehicle parked at the property. Sod needed in the swell. This went to magistrate hearing on September 2nd, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start, or excuse me, the fine started July 28th, 2020. It ran for 524 days at $100 a day for a total of $52,400. This was complied January 3rd, 2020. The city requests a reduction of 10% of this lien for a total of $5,240.
All right, can you tell me your names, please?
My name is Fauci. I'm speaking on behalf of my mom because my mom doesn't speak English very well.
And what is your mother's name?
Vera Macan. She's a single woman, retired. Basically, she doesn't even have money to pay her bills. That has nothing to do with what I'm explaining, but we didn't were aware of absolutely anything that was happening on the property because Mr. Robert, the inspector, used to go to the property and the tenants that were living there were throwing the papers from the inspection and they never let us know because they were the people that make all of this incident happens. It was just brought to our attention like 2 or 3 months ago. And realistically, and how funny it is, when we told the tenants they need to leave, now the state of Florida is coming after my mom because we are telling tenants that they don't have immigration status and have 2 kids, and they're trying to sue my mom. So besides all of this, now I'm dealing with an incident from the state because the state is contacting my mom.
Yeah, I don't want to go there because I don't know anything about that, and that's a little outside my area.
It is
Let me ask you this.
Sir, that we are in this situation when we did not do anything, and it's basically the savings of my mom. We're immigrants, and it's the savings of my mom's, and now she has almost like what, $60,000 in fines when we did not know anything.
Okay, I get that. VM Services Group LLC, is that your mother's company?
It's the corporation that she created for buying the property.
Okay, and they bought this property from the person that committed these violations, is that correct? Officer?
Yep.
Yeah, so they are not the people that committed, they're the secondary owners.
Correct.
Okay, so tell me what you were asking me to do for you.
Sir, if you can reduce the fines at least to 10% and give us time to pay, we don't make money, so we can, like if you reduce it to 10% and give us some time to pay it, it will be at least kind of fair. We did not commit that kind of the crime, but we're willing to work with you guys, and if you guys give us a period of time so we can pay it in parts.
How much time do you need?
120 days. She's a 75 years old woman. Like she doesn't make money. She gets $300 from the state from retirement. Like.
Okay, I'll reduce case 8 from $5,000 to $500 payable in 120 days, and I'll reduce case 9 to $5,000 even payable within 120 days.
Thank you very much, sir. I do really appreciate it.
Yeah.
God
Take
bless
good care
you.
of your property, all right?
Thank you.
There's a copy of your order.
Oh. Thank you, guys.
Okay, now we have the last 5 cases, all for 1475 7th Street, number 13, CE 08050717, number 14, CE 10060081, number 15, CE 11020458, number 16, CE 11070192, and number 22, CE 10090095.
I'm guessing these must be you, sir.
Would you like me to call them all at once, sir, or do you want to do them one at a time?
Are these different actual properties, or are these different
Same
cases?
address, different code cases.
So these are all the same physical property, but different cases?
Correct.
Well, I'm sure this has an interesting story.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No,
catch
I'm
that.
sorry, go ahead.
So how would you like me to proceed? Would you want to do it one at a time, or you want to do it all at once?
Well, let me defer to you on this. Do you think that these make sense to hear together?
They're all under the previous owner. He represents the new ownership.
All right, so let's just do it all together.
Okay. All right, so for the Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, the address at 1475 7th Street has 5 separate code cases. The first one, CE 080-50717. This one was cited on May 27, 2008 for a failed inspection due to an inoperative vehicle, as well as paint needed on the exterior and the roof being in disrepair and needed to be cleaned. This went to hearing on August 22nd, 2008. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 7th, 2008. That ran for 2,977 days at a total of $100 a day, for a total fine of $297,700. This was complied December 1st, 2016. For this case, the city requests a reduction of 5% of the lien for a total of $14,885. Again, this was done under the previous ownership. There were 15 cases under that ownership. Under the new ownership, there is a total of 7 code cases to date, and this case service was achieved via posting the property. For the next case, CE 1006081. This case was originally cited June 3rd, 2010, and they were cited for overgrowth of the yard on the property. This went to hearing July 21st, 2010. Excuse me. This was ordered, the fine was started January 4th, 2010. It ran for a total of 18 days at $50 a day for a total of $900, and this was complied June 22nd, 2010. This, again, previous owner, city is requesting for a reduction of 15% of that lien for a total of $135. For the next case, CE 1102048. This case was cited February 11th, 2011. This was a repeat violation from case CE 100900095 and CE 100600081 for overgrowth, excuse me, and trash and debris. Starting to lose my voice here.
Bless you.
Again, previous owner. This case went to hearing March 16th, 2011. It was ordered for the fine to start February 11th, 2011. It ran for 28 days at $125 a day for a total of $3,500, and this was complied March 11th, 2011. The city is requesting a reduction of 15% for a total of $525 for that case. For the next case, CE 1107019. This case was originally cited on July 14th, 2011. This was also a repeat for case CE 1102048. They were cited for overgrowth of the property, and this was their 3rd repeat. This went to magistrate hearing on October 19th, 2011. It was ordered for the fine to start running as of July 14th, 2011. It ran for 30 days at $125 a day for a total of $3,750. That was complied August 13th, 2011. The city requests a reduction of 15% of the lien for a total of $562.50. For the last case, CE 100900095. This case was originally cited September 7th, 2010, and they were cited for overgrowth of the yard on the property. Again, same previous owner. This went to hearing October 6th, 2010. It was ordered for the fine to start running September 7th, 2010. It ran for 17 days at $75 a day for a total of $1,275, and this was complied September 24th, 2010. City requests a reduction of 15% of the lien, for a total of $191.25.
Okay, sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Jermaine Bell.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Jermaine Bell.
Jermaine Vell?
Bell, B-E-L-L. Ding ding.
Vell, okay. Hey, Mr. Vell, what are you asking me for, and why should I grant it to you?
Well, I'm asking for you guys to show me a little favor on the property based on the fact that I purchased this home in 2015, inheriting a plethora of issues. When I purchased the property, the prior owner had passed away. The kids were out of state. No one wanted to touch the property. I'm assuming henceforth the reason why these things were accruing for so long.
Well, just before you go on, are you the principal in IFB Properties LLC?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem. I subsequently had to pull permits from the roof. I'm not certain if you guys have the pictures that I presented initially from in the condition I inherited the property to bring it up to the point where it's habitable now. There was a hole in the roof. Every drywall had to be replaced. Gentleman was a pastor, so unfortunately there was probably over 100 Bibles, things of that nature had to remove from the property. The kids had no interest in the home. So I had to contact a probate attorney, initiate that process. So subsequently, from the time of ownership, I've probably invested close to $200,000 into this home. I understand that these violations were prior to me owning, but subsequently, since I bought the home, I pulled all the necessary permits. I brought the home to what I consider to be one of the better looking homes in the neighborhood. Subsequently, I'm asking if we can potentially wipe these liens down to, I'm not unreasonable. I mean, I understand this is a process. Can we negotiate down to $5,000? Is that doable?
That's a pretty big reduction, because you walked in here with 297?
Just north of 300,000.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, this was inherited in this fashion, so.
I appreciate that, and to be clear, I recognize and will account for the fact that you took over a distressed property and returned it to a code compliant condition, and that you were not the original, which is a person that put this property in non-compliance, which are all factors that the city code allows me to weigh in such cases.
Thank you, sir.
With that said, that's still a really substantial reduction, so let me see what the city's position on that is.
Magistrate, the city would like to counter with a total for all five, 10,000.
Mr. Val?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of making sure I have the capabilities of being able to satisfy this in a time frame. Is there any way potentially at 6,500? I mean, 7,000 tops I can possibly come up with in a time frame of maybe 90 to 120 days. And I mean, I'm coupling on the fact that just paid the finance department for, I guess, what the city incurred as far as the lot clearing and the fees of that nature. I paid $1,500 just recently to take care of that, plus the interest leading up to this point, and the money that I've actually put out of pocket to between the roof, painting, exterior.
All right, how about this? 7,590 days. Will that work for you?
God bless you guys. Thank you.
We have to break it up.
How many cases do we have?
5.
Why don't we do $100 for the other 4, and then $7,100 for the number 13? Does that work? Did my math work there? All right. 90. All right, good luck, and I appreciate you getting this property back into order.
Thank you very much, guys. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, unless I see something that, do you see something I don't? I think that's it, right? All right, we're adjourned.